Hello, I don't know if I'm... Hmm. Hello, if anyone is out there and you can hear me, let me know, because I'm not quite sure if you can hear me or not. Um, I don't know if it's doing a countdown or what it's doing. Give me a minute. I don't know. So, anyway, if you're here with me, we are doing things from an old book. This is my old ancient travel book right here. This is my book. And these are stories and tales and crimes and things like that that actually have happened. But I need to know more on how to do this. And I don't know if I do. I think it's counting down. I think it's counting down. I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know. Um, I am going to say this though. If you have any children, make sure they're not in the room when we're talking because this might bother them. I'm not sure. It might not. I don't know. But this is my first live on YouTube. I'm usually I don't know, can I say TikTok? Are you not allowed to say that? I don't know. But anyway, here we go. Now, I just want to explain to you a little bit about sundown towns and the dog men and the myths and all this stuff because it's really hard sometimes to get a real read on things. Dog men and shapeshifters and things are not anything new to me, but there's always a place where they begin, you know? When I first got here, I thought they had Dark Friday, like Dark Valentine's Day. And I thought they knew about Lupercalia. And a lot of people, I did not know about that. I guess that's something within your, whatever tribe you're from whatever kind of religion you are, or whatever it is. It's just something different. For sweethearts, you would have um, well, it's due to two children being dropped in front of a female wolf is the story, and her name was Ramius. So Ramius is the one that took care of the two children, and then for some reason or another, I should have been listening so much more, but then just if you get my thing, you know, sitting around campfire, not knowing really how important all this was until I got older. Then I started writing everything down that I could remember. I do have a full script manual grimoire of everything I'm supposed, that I have in my shed, which I have to get out there. But I'm in Florida and I'm just gonna melt. I swear. If I'm 5 inches away from my pool or a hose or something, I don't know. It's unbearably hot. So you get me. I hope you get me. I mean, it would be so nice if you could hear me, if I knew somebody could hear me, or, um, if I knew something. I don't know. if I knew if I was really going live. I mean, just like I said, this is my first time going TikTok. If there's any comments on here, can somebody say something, because I don't know what's happening. But here we go. All right. There is some crime in this as well. So I am not going to deny that part of um, of this. But what I would like to say before, you know, and people will understand that in Anna, Illinois, in Pennsylvania, it's a sundown town. There, the Hollow in Tennessee, and I'm not going to give that a specific little town. A lot of people have moved from that area, but there's still natives there, and there's a lot in the Appalachian Mountains. There's a lot of little hills, a bunch of little things, and you are required to be in by sundown. That's that's the law, or get eaten, or whatever happens. And this is because of not just children missing, but actually um, adults are missing, and no one ever found them. Like, never found them. And this is going back to the 17, 16, 1500s. Nobody found them. Not a hair scrape. They would find claw marks. Um, People have spotted um, the um, what you would call, I don't know what your dog men and werewolves are different, and shapeshifters. I'm gonna have to go through a little generalization for you here, okay? Um, a shapeshifter is something in the native tribes that um, you can the soul can become, only the shamans and those that have made deals with other entities or whatever um, can transform into that animal, that spirit animal or whatever animal. That sometimes in death, the great eagle will come and land a feather, or the great crow, or the wolf, or the similarity to your clan and your tribe. Um, I am between the Navajo and the Cherokee. I know. Don't ask me how that happened. All right. This is the thing. Werewolves are what they call a cursed soul. Did someone piss somebody off, or did he get bit because he, um, you know, disrespected a wolf hunter, just looking for the hides or whatever, and decides, and then, he's been cursed now to know how it feels. The drive is there. Now, like all animals, not all are bad, most are. Don't go up and try to pet a werewolf. That just ain't gonna happen. Your best thing to do is just, if you're living in a town and it tells you that you need to be in, be in. And there's a lot of them. If you're up in North Carolina, South Carolina too. South Carolina's got a tribe up there too. And in North Carolina and the Virginia borders and Tennessee borders, up there in the Appalachian Mountains, they have little towns that you got to be in by sundown, and in the hollows. And everyone's like, well, there is no such thing, Okay, let me ask you something. Where do you think all this stuff comes from? Now, these have been around since before you and I have been born. The Egyptians, the Aztecs, the natives have all drawn about the wolf man. I mean, these are just, people are like, these are folk tales. Okay, these are things that you could believe in, but if you don't see it, I understand. If you don't see something, then how are you supposed to believe it? correct? So, hold on. I think this is asking me something. Okay. No, I'm done. I'm done with that. So I don't know what's going on here, but it's asking me a bunch of questions. So just give me a. Okay, I get it now. I think. Um, okay, I got it. All right. Are we ready now? Oh, okay. I don't know. Are we ready? If you're out there and you just happen for some reason to whizzle in on here, could you let me know if you can hear me? I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna turn this up. Hopefully you can hear me. Um, like I said, I don't know if I wanted to do something for the YouTube station other than download everything from TikTok. So I wanted to do something for you guys. Um, okay. Well, let's start from the beginning. Hi, I'm Diane. I am originally Spells and Bells, but I am now allegedly to guilty. If you go to TT or TikTok, I don't know if you have to say or not, you will find me there allegedly to guilty. Okay. Um, I am been through the war of life, as I'm sure we all have, and hopefully everyone is treating everybody with kindness. You know, be kind to the person that's beside you or behind you. Always keep a guard up, though. I mean, these unfortunately are times that we live in that you have to be protective of yourself, your family, and your home, and all that. I do not get into the red, blue, and the white in the middle, whatever. I don't like to discuss religions. I will discuss um, things that people put in comments that they want to know, but I really don't believe in religions. I believe in the Creator. I am grounded in earth and hopefully washed in blood, and I'm good. So we have a lot of uh, whatever. You know, I just don't want to go over there and be in that conversation. Okay. Now, I do believe you should know a few things if you don't know. There are rules. If you live around them Appalachian Mountains, you all know the rules. This is going to be nothing new to you. You've heard it, you know why. If someone's whistling, don't whistle back. If someone's calling your name and if they're not beside you and you know nobody, don't answer that. It's best not to go walking in the woods or camping out there in them mountains and all that stuff unless you have been born, raised, and know every piece of tree, limb, dirt, creek, water, whatever there. Because if something happens, you ain't gonna be found. I'm sorry. And if you are gonna be found, you're probably gonna be found. You know, it's deliberately reason. You know why you're gonna be found. And I'm sure everybody understands that. If you're in those anywhere near the Appalachian Mountains, and that could be in Kentucky, the Carol, you know, because they spread all over the place. So you can be anywhere near them mountains, and you know, don't. If you're in your house at night and you know your significant other or parents or whatever, you know you're alone in that house and someone's calling your name from upstairs, no. You go to a room, you shut it, you lock it, you get whatever. I don't care and stay there until in the morning. And there's nothing to see a mimic. Mimics are a complete doppelganger. Have you ever been in a situation where, wow, someone says, I've seen your double or your twin, or this girl looks so much like you, and you're like, well, it wasn't me. And they're like, are you sure about that? I'm pretty sure it wasn't me. Okay. There are all kinds of things. I'm a strong believer in demons because you can't believe in God and you can't believe in Satan. Then, whatever you believe in, do believe that there are angels and there are demons and there are giants. I believe in the whole thing. Um, I am now getting into the book of Enoch, so I have getting a little bit more knowledge on those books. But as far as the Bible, if you read the Bible like you read your grimoire or the Black Bible, I mean, but there's more than one Bible. I mean, I have a Jewish Bible. I have the Hebrew Bible. There's all kinds of Bibles. Black Bible. I mean, family members won't let me bring the Black Bible in the house, so, but you need to read it. You need knowledge. And if you read the Bible as a history book or as a book of knowledge, you know what I'm saying? If you do that, regardless of what you believe in, if you read it, it's quite a good, interesting book. But you need to read it. And a lot of people are saying, well, he's metaphorically saying this. This doesn't mean that. Yeah, it does. It does mean there's a six-headed dragon. It does mean that something that looked like some kind of creature from hell was in the Bible. If it's in there, yes. I love pork, y'all. Should I be eating it? No. Why? Because where did all those legions of possessed people go? They went into the pigs, into the swine, which went off into the water off a cliff that drowned it. Okay. But I like bacon. So I'm not telling you that just go out and be a. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying is if you read the book like it's a history book, like you would any other book that you wanted knowledge from. If you want to learn about the crafts, the arts, uh, the herbs, I mean, any kind of crafts. I don't know, again, what you can and cannot say here. Until I do get all the rules on here, I don't want to say. Like, first day of the month, I bless my house by blowing in cinnamon. I go outside, do my little thing, and blow it in every month. Every full moon, I gather water. Stormy weather, I gather stormy water. Why? Because we believe in things that the Creator made helps us get stronger inside. The herbs of the earth. Where do you think all of it came from? I mean, it did just magically appear. I mean, I don't know. It depends on what kind of, if you believe in a big boom, or if you believe in evolution, or whatever it is you believe in that you came from. I mean, that's totally, I'm in the artifacts as we are all sons of Adam and daughters of Eve. I am all into that, but this is the thing. Um, I also know that Cain went out and got a wife after he killed Abel, right? And so he went out and got a wife. Well, where did that wife come from? I'm sorry. There had to be another pre-Adam evolution, a pre-Adam world, um, which I'm learning all about now. So I don't know enough yet to really get into that debate with anybody. But I'm trying to set up something on a regular basis here with you guys because on Fridays, usually Tuesday nights, I am on TikTok at 9 o'clock. I am regular Crime Time Live for all the other things like Nancy Guffrey, the Nolan Wells, all those. The Ned Hooker, the quite a few new cases are coming up. You're never going to get bored if you're in crime because people do crime every day. We do serial killers, and we do a lot of stuff. Um, I did say, oh, again, I hit that button. Anyway, like, okay, do you like popping bubble wrap? That's what it's asking me to ask y'all. Does anybody like popping bubble wrap? Stupid question. I got it. How do I get out of here, though? Whatever it's doing, um, I don't know about this. How do you get out of it? Go to settings. I don't know how to get out of this. This thing said drag here to end the. I don't even know what it's doing. Can I at least just get it out of my way? That would be great. I don't know. It just says, "Do you like popping bubble wrap?" And I guess it has to stay there until someone answers the question. If I could, I would do it. I have no idea what this is. Drag here. Drag here. And okay, did it stop? I don't know what that's all about. As I said, I'm learning. Okay. I'm just saying that there are a lot of things that dragons are in there. I mean, wow, it's a ride, you know? I was looking in there because someone asked me about their cat. Why doesn't God mention cats in the Bible? And I was like, oh, wow, that's a great question. Um, so I'm like, well, I don't know really. So I did a little research on it. And the only thing I can find in there on that, I want to answer this for her. She lost her cat. She was grieving over it. Is that I found in the book of Daniel, when Daniel went into the lion's den, because they threw him in there thinking he was going to be eaten up. He was in here with all these ferocious lions. But yet, the Creator sent his angel down to soften their mouth. So, inside of them. So, they were cuddly up to Daniel when the king came the next day. There they were, all cuddled up and curled by Daniel. So, back then, that was awesome, right? Because this is how it started evolving. So then, the Creator thought, hey, maybe my people need littler stuff to cuddle like that. So I think that's how I'm going to interpretate that, if you want to go to metaphors on it. And that's how we got the kitty cat. Hey, I'm just at the point right now where I'm trying to figure out what animals went on that ark and what didn't. If you get my drift. I mean, I know the Nephilim was here, the giants. I do know about that. Was it Daniel who slew the giant? Um, but he got help from the Nephilim, which are fallen angels, to help him, with a little bit of guidance and stuff. It was David and Goliath, the giant. That's what it was, David. Now, and I think there's a little town in South Carolina that's got an actual rock where the giant landed on it, and you can see the print of it. And it's been, not this fight, but before the boot times, whatever. I would like to go see it myself, but I can't stay. I love Salem, Massachusetts. I love Massachusetts. I like the witch stuff, the witch trials and stuff like that. And I absolutely love the history of it, which amazes me. None of these women were witches. They were healers. They were midwives. They were, some people just wanted their land. One man who was the only person I know that was stoned, they laid stones on him and he wasn't going to give up. He wasn't going to do it. So all these things these people did back then, I don't, it was a way to just eradicate the religion. So another one can come in. I mean, to me. All right. So I think that went with the satanic panic as well. I think that goes for a lot of things. So my ideal is for you to read and research what you really do believe in and what you really, really want for yourself. I'm tribal, so therefore, hey, and Irish, Celtic, the whole thing. So um, I'm not a purebred, so. But there are a lot of people that also believe they were born wolves. So, like, they got stuck in the evolution somehow. Like, we believed in the curse. Sorry, the cursed ones. But they do have the pure blood ones, so they had to come from somewhere. Somebody had to do something. There had to be some kind of little toot to two on that. But as far as that, the dog man is the soldier the military made. Um, I am not going to talk too much about military, ex-military myself, so I'm not going to do that. But let's just do this. You best believe in one thing. They can be experimenting on you right now through the water, through your food. I mean, you don't know. You might be getting some blood pressure medicine that might be totally changing your DNA. I mean, get ready for the AI world, right? Get ready for it. They're chipping your head now. If you can't walk, they got shit to make you walk. You lose any kind of limb, it's replaceable. Is it the same? No. Is it like the $6 million man and the bionic woman? Yes. That was all supposed to be very sci-fi too, right? Frankenstein. Shelley's Frankenstein. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein? Yeah. These books that have been written centuries, the paintings that have been painted for centuries, where do you think they come from? I mean, I just want to know, where do you think they come from? But there are places that, if they have a limit, in, I mean, in the USA, we have Chester, California. Let's see, we have Rosenberg, Anna, Illinois. We have a place in Oregon. There's a place in Oregon. Um, I can't think of the name of it, but there are quite a few towns that seriously, you wouldn't catch me. And okay, you just can't. And if you did, I'm going to tell you this right now. There are some live cases on this. Um, there's a modern day town in America. I am not going to tell y'all where this is, but if you have to, all through history, you have had to know that these are very real. Until this day now, this is Sundowners Town. Okay? Um, I'm going to give you a couple cases. I mean, it's like a parent. There's Buckeye, Arizona. There's all kinds of places. There's, oh my God. But I don't want to just focus on one thing, one case. I just want to, kind of dive into the murky waters of the werewolf towns. Um, there was a guy named Devonte Morgan. What was it? On the anyway, on the 5th of May in 2020, a 28-year-old man named Devonte Morgan traveled up to a small town in Mount Shasta and got into like an argument with his girlfriend, ran out of the hotel, was reported missing 2 days later. He's never been found. And I mean, his phone was broken. They found his phone, but it was broken. They seen him at a gas station, but they have surveillance footage of the day he disappeared. Which showed him walking into a gas station alone. But and they knocked on every single door. But after 9 p.m., everything shuts down. Everything shuts down. I mean, if you put up missing posters, they're going to tear them down. So if you do visit, don't. Don't. Just don't. Because when people say, um, if you're going to go through the town, just keep trucking. Lock your doors and keep trucking. And and just don't. I mean, it's not the first time that a man, as can be lured out by a woman, or a woman can be lured out by a man, and then before you know it, they're gone. I mean, on the 28th of December, what was that rapper from Oregon, Notorious Ray something? In Rosenberg, he was driving through, and his white Durango, was it Durango? Anyway, was found outside of town and towed. There was everything was discovered right there. His cell phone, his wallet, everything. I mean, nobody. Tawarius something. Oh God, what was that rapper's name? Rosenberg Police Department, anyway, received a call from his family claiming they hadn't heard from him or seen the 28-year-old in like 10 days, and they were concerned for his safety. So this is when they started putting his image everywhere and social media, because he was a notorious rapper. Um, Notorious Ray, that they believed that he was lured out to Rosenberg or something by his girlfriend, which has never been proven. But the small town, I mean, days before, it repeats itself multiple times across the Northwest. But it's not always a woman who can do the luring out, or a man. Because a magician from California named Corey Daney disappeared after storming off into the night, never to be seen again. And to this day, they don't know where he went. He went off into the mountains. I mean, they don't know where he went because there were times he was supposed to be um, I know it was near Kerman, California, somewhere around there. But he's never been found. But they have these rules set in place, okay, that you need to be in because they've already been through it. They live that way. When you go into certain towns especially anywhere near the Appalachian Mountains, and you see that a gas station shut down, there is no, that town's locked down, you need to get the HE Doppet Sticks hell out of there and keep moving, because you don't know what's out there, what goes bump in the night. Uh, Everyone says, well, can you prove there's one out there? Okay, can you prove there's not one out there? That's that's my question. You know, the Mojave Desert. There's people been missing on the, in between that LA area there with Vegas. There, Kentucky. I'm telling y'all, we'll have to go into the rules of the, things at another time, or I'll try to make a listing on it. I don't know, but I'll try. So, um, werewolves. Werewolves. Um, do I believe they exist? Yeah, I do. I've seen a lot of stuff, though. I mean, there's a difference when someone's missing organs, or if you know something is chasing you and growling and you barely get away. Up where it snows at, there was a girl I worked with, and she was in one of those remote towns, um, in Kelso, Washington, something like that. Um, where just, try to be in. Mostly this stands true in the hollows and up in near the Appalachian Mountains, because those are where they've been spotted. Your dog man, which they are confusing, I think they're confusing that with the werewolf. The werewolf is something cursed, or something that magically has been created. A dog man is most likely an experiment of DNA mixtures done by your government, or, they're always looking for the ultimate soldier. People are like, that's too sci-fi for me. Yeah, I get it. Because when you say werewolf, I'm thinking Wolfman back in Lon Chaney's days. I'm thinking about a werewolf in London. Um, you know, that kind of area. Like, I get you, and I feel you on that. I really do. Because, unfortunately, some of this stuff is hard. There's werewolf covenants, though. And you're going to be like, what are you talking about? I'm just saying. If you think there is so many secret societies out there, and if you think, well, that's not so secret. No, there's secret societies that hide secrets. That's the difference. And the real ones will put you through tests that are like from hell. Everything is a ritual. There is a ritual that you have to go through. Always. It's always something soul binding. Always. But all of those are traced back to the Bible. Everybody's like, what? Yeah. Yeah. Most of these spells, well, your mouth. When you're speaking, your intentions of what you are speaking could be the very words holding you back in your life. You know? spelling. Spelling. Think about that for a minute. What are you learning in class today? Oh, we're doing our spelling. Oh, what did you learn today? Oh, we learned how to write limb, frog, pot, kettle, a plate, a fork. Okay. Do you know they don't teach cursive in most schools anymore? Especially here in Florida. Because when you pick up your pen and you write something in cursive, cursive writing. I know this is probably not good since this is going way off the trail from what I really wanted to get into. I wanted to talk about werewolves, but I guess you need to talk about other topics before you can get in tune with the wolf. But let me tell you, they exist. There are towns. Go back to history and look for towns you couldn't enter after dark. I mean, just do that. And everybody's going to say, well, most of them is because, they're doing, the white people only after dark. No, no. And again, I will not get into that debate with anybody because I don't care what color you are. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what gender you are. If you do a crime, you should have to have the consequences of it. Flat out. That's why you have a justice system. And I know the justice system isn't always on your side. Trust me, I lost a daughter 2019, and it took a while to get justice for her. And that was a lot of. So, I know what you're talking. I had a 33-year-old daughter. Who had her PhD in pharmaceutical science and has many research papers out there on Mercer and trying to find chromosomes why the red blood cells, when you got chemo, were depleted from your bone marrow. And I mean, very smart, very beautiful, no children. Out of her pets, my pets, my grand kitty passed and my grand puppy Ray passed. I just have Kiki over here. So, but I do know that sometimes the long arm of justice takes a little bit longer than what you think. And thank God I believe what I do, because at one point or another you're going to face judgment. Either now, here, afterlife, whatever. And that's just, I prefer to see it though. I'm with you guys. I just really am. But I think there's a place in Colorado as well. After the sun goes down, please don't be out. People be putting on their lights. You have men with guns in their, with pew-pews in their trucks waiting outside, especially on a full moon. On a full moon, daddies and brothers and uncles are waiting in case something tears into their house. There are quilts put up on and boards put up on the windows. No lights are on in the house, only around the house. So when I say there's a circle of silver, yeah, that they started doing silver paint, lead paint. I don't know. I know that was a thing that was very toxic or you would mix some silver, um, something silver into your white lime wash. I have more of that kind of information out in the book in the shed, but it has a whole analogy on that of how they had to take care of business back then. You know, back in my, I guess my great 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 grandmother's side. I don't know, but they did it. And you're talking about the Mississippi line, the Arkansas line, the Tennessee line, the North Carolina line. I mean, we have people from everywhere as descendants and ancestors. I'm just going to tell you that real quick, like. So, there's a you can tell if you're in a you can tell if you're in a sundown. Trust me. There was a fire. Okay, there was a fire in Arizona. I'm not gonna say where, and it was deep up there in the. I mean, up there, like up past those Catalina hills. I mean, it was up yonder in the mountains. And the firefighters there will tell you back in I think it was 2024, 2023, that the fire was the last thing they had to worry about. It was the big hairy creatures, and they weren't bears. So, but they're like everybody else. They don't want to come out on the record. I mean, some did. Some did. Um, if you see cheerful colors in a town, uh, if your stomach starts to tighten across, if it might say something like "Welcome to Pure Michigan." Maybe it's how dark everything suddenly is when you're going through it. There's an absence of other cars on the road. If it's something your grandmother once told you about watching where you stop when you travel, um, your body has that old logic that says, pay attention, that instinct will kick in. So sometimes the danger just don't announce itself with violence, within the town, because the town keeps that stuff on the down low. Because let's face it, when your chest whispers to your heart, you shouldn't be here. Because some people are thinking this is history, something dusty, something old, something that ended decades ago with the Civil Rights Acts was signed, but that's not what it is about. Um, y'all imagine all kinds of things, but I'm telling you, let's get into the future of 2026. Let's safely get away from there. And here's the reality: there are things that roam out there that you don't want to be a part of. I know there's been something in the middle of the night in some woods somewhere that you think, um, did I see that? Did I see that? No, I didn't see that. That wasn't what I thought it was. Okay. I never thought I'd see a black panther in Florida. I mean, we have Florida panthers. They're great. We do have Florida panthers. But I just found out not only that, because I was in a dark wooded area, and I do self defense at the end of my videos. Everybody does that over TikTok. I'll try to give y'all a few things. But I want you to remember this when you're dealing with wolves. If you are walking somewhere in the woods in the dark, if you come across a town that says this is a sundown town, please don't think of it being a history of that kind. Go to the history of the aesthetic animal kind, because nobody's going to be out. Nobody. It's going to be shut down. There is this. I mean, oh Lord. They say the screens between being, because right away your mind doesn't want to go there because you've seen it in the movies. Somebody's pulling a prank, da 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 da, and which sounds like some kind of horror movie, because back when I was very young, in the woods, you're not supposed to be there, and we were booking it before the lights went out because we knew we needed to be in. When some lights went down, you were in the house. We were booking it. There was a couple of us, and I'm just. I know this is gonna sound so horrible, but I'm so glad to say that I didn't really want to. Well, I won't divulge with who I was with, but I will tell you this: we made it. The next day in school, somebody didn't, or the next day in lesson time, they didn't make it. That's what I heard. Not of our group. This was too much older adults, I guess, and they had, I guess, stopped to stretch their legs or whatever. But it said sundown. It says sundown. You in the woods. You in the hollers. For the love of God, if you don't see any other cars out there, there ain't no lights on except on the city road, and there is nothing. Nobody's open. Everybody's at home because that's what they're taught to do. They don't get out. Well, I guess there was another couple following behind them or in front of them or something, and the girl, well, she wasn't she wasn't. No, they were passerbys. They were strangers. They weren't a part of the communities or nothing like that. Um, from what I understand, when they were telling us this, um, the girl made it. The boyfriend didn't, but the girl made it. And she thought that they were pulling a joke on her because it was close around like a week before Halloween or whatever. So she thought that they had stopped ahead of them and made this elaborate hoax dressed up like a wolf man, which is what she said she saw. She says, I know, sounds crazy, but I thought it was a prank until I heard um, my boyfriend screaming. And then I still didn't register in my head to run. I didn't register in my head to run until she realized it was not fake anymore. So she got in the car and took off. I know, what are you going to do? You're going to leave. He was very interested in what he was doing at that moment. So she got out of there and she ran back into the town and to the local sheriff's department, which was not open. So she went back where she had come from. She sure wasn't heading back that way. Till she got to another town, was able to talk to the sheriff and tell them what happened. And the sheriff said, we'll go and check on him in the morning. She's like, no, you need to check on him now. No, we will go in the morning. And they never found him. Ever. As far as they know, she could have done it. I mean, there was little I mean, blood, like the red stuff, there was a little bit of red stuff there, but there wasn't even much of that. There were no pieces left, that's for sure. I mean, I just don't do it. I don't care what history's told anybody. I have been taught that it is animalistic, and I don't want nothing to do with it. Because if I go through a town that says something about 9 p.m., I'm getting that fork out of there as fast as I can. And if I feel like I'm not going to make it out of there as fast as I can, and it's like 8:45, something like that, then I'm going to run into the nearest hotel and shut the door and stay in there until the morning light. First of all, if you're going to travel, um, now they say if your spirit animal is a wolf, it'll recognize you and leave you be. I don't know if I want to take a trap on that, so I just think it's best, you know, people, there are tribes who, I'm going to just metaphorically say this, like I'm going to hypotheticalize or whatever here on this, allegedly, because it is allegedly to guilty is my link. Um, that right before a full moon, your job would be as a pup is to get water, meat, and a lot of protein and fresh clothes, and put it out at the creek. You know, when the moon spell breaks. Moon spell breaks. Full moon night, you have 3 days of the full moon. You have the awakening, the wake, and the afterglow of the full moon. There's 3 stages of it for those 3 nights. On that third night in the afterglow, you get there around 6, 7 in the morning. You drop everything off and you leave. Because you'll see a bunch of people not wearing clothes all of a sudden, and then they just take off running. And then you hear a bunch of howling. So let that take you where you want it to. I don't care. All I'm saying is these things come from somewhere. These legends that we sit around the campfires, these movies that we're sitting here watching. I'm making a werewolf love story right now. I'm writing the book. Okay. And I will be writing them in tune to what I know of the lupa, alacoca. Yeah, because you want to make sure that you get something close in there. You're going to have some kind of love affair or something, right? So, I do recommend if sitting around a campfire kind of stories, spooky, and sometimes I will be throwing in some true crime, like these cases I told you from some of these towns. Those names, look them up, do your research, they exist. Research it. You don't have to take my word for it. Research werewolf towns. Do that. I don't even know what would happen if you goes to let me see if I could research that. I don't even know what would come up if you hit werewolf town. I wonder what would come up. That would be really great. Okay. Let me tell you something. Your dog is, if you got a dog. Okay, you got a dog. Okay. Your dog ain't stupid unless it goes near you. Now, if you have a dog, because a prey and a predator both know each other very well. They know. You know when you're prey and when you're the predator. I prefer to stay the predator. I don't want to be somebody's prey. No, I did that a long time ago. Don't want to do that again. That's just did not work for me. I don't think it really works for anybody, but it sure didn't work for me. So y'all look it up. I might still do what I used to do, is just download from my TikTok into you guys. I built up a better base over here. Um, but those that have been with me before my daughter passed in 2019, I had quite a large following, and then I just left it because I couldn't bear to be on it. There was no way to be true to you unless I was very angry, very bitter, very destructive about people because she was taken from me. And 2025 of last year, I lost my son to cancer. So I do have a baby son, but he's not a baby son, he's a young man. But you don't replace one child with another. I've never understood that. I mean, it, I don't know. I believe that I will see them again. So, whatever journey they are on now, it, it's got to be better than the one we're in here, right? Because and I think it was during World War II, a West Virginian town that was in Richwood was plagued by a werewolf. Look that up. There's I can't think of the town that's tried to be there um, for oh God, what's the name of it? Well, Louisiana is the vampire country, and everyone's like, I don't know, you believe in vampires, you believe what you want, but when it says even in the Bible that thou shalt live by the blood, I'm like, okay, then you don't live by the blood. I definitely have to live by the blood because I have to get blood transfusions all the time. But I'm pretty sure mine's because of a red blood cell count. Um, I think World War II brought out a lot of things. They brought out the dog soldiers. They brought out um, unbelievable things. I think somebody even said they saw West Virginia is noted for them, though. Colorado. Um, I've heard of one in Arizona. I've heard of usually several packs, but very rarely do you see werewolves and vampires in the same town. That's I don't know, but if you go looking for where people are missing a lot, I'm still trying to figure out what happened um, to all the scientists. You know, what happened to them all? They were all into time travel. All of them were into the time travel, into the aerodynamics part of it. Scientists that have been missing. Does anybody never talk about them anymore? I just was wondering. You know, because I know that Missouri had a few. Um, I'm just saying what I saw, okay? I do know this. If you've ever been on a horse and you've been riding on it, your horse knows when you're in danger way before you do. If they sense a gator, a bear, bobcat, whatever, they know danger before you do. Now, I had one horse that didn't like gators. That was Rocky. He was a Mustang. If he even got the scent of that or anything like a wild hog, he was gone. Forget it. He'd let me know, his ears would start twinkling. I'd see it catch his attention, and then that was it. Then I was on my aunt's horse at one time, Captain, and was riding him, and we were on a tiny, tiny path. And this, I don't know what that was. This day, I know something was chasing us though. He stood up on two legs, jumped his body around, and took off like grease lightning. And I could hear something falling behind us, so I'm thinking maybe there's another rider out there because it sounded like it was tracking up motion too. And we were in the woods. So I'm like, what is that? I'm thinking hogs, but it would have to be quite a few hogs if you get my drift. But that's what I was thinking it was. But you know, Captain, however, thought, no, we're going home, and we're going home now. And not only did he run his way back, and I wasn't near the. I mean, he was being used as a rodeo, and we had done rodeo. This was a couple days after, so he was staying at my friend's house with my horse. I think another girl that at that time, I think we had Sabrina with us, and she was on Rocky. And I forget, Leanne was somewhere, but anyway, I was on Captain. Leanne could have been on another horse. I don't know, but Captain was one of those you needed to know your crap to ride him. Otherwise, great animal though, great animal. Um, he got me back. I mean, he got me back. Not only did he get me back, but he got me back to the house and stood there watching the driveway. Well, we had a fire going outside and everything with a bunch of people, and everybody stopped because they heard something. That it stopped though just before it would come into sight, and I'm thinking, hey, you think it's them wild hogs again? And they're like, no, I don't know. Well, I wasn't going to be the first one to say, hey, do you think it was a wolf? I don't know. They ain't seen, big fat wolves in Florida, so, but that very well could have been. I don't know. I've seen them otherwhere, uh, things that I'm not sure has been playing with but I'm not stupid. If you say that this is not somewhere I need to be, I'm with you. I don't need to be there. I mean, I don't need to know. I will research that stuff in the libraries. I used to constantly research all this stuff. I need to go to the nearest Cherokee town here, tribe, find one, and go to the library and see if they won't let me get in there and get into some customs, or talk to the elder um, of the tribe, and sit around a bonfire and ask them about the lupa. I need to do that. I can tell them what I know, and then although I'm older, I would like to know the basis more of it. Um, I can also go to an old ancestor that knew an ancestor of mine, and get her perspective of it. Get the Romanian, aspect of it, and the Viking aspect of it. So I may have to dig a little bit more deep in this for us, so we can learn a lot more about it and where it comes from, and have documentation. That's so much better when you have documentation, other than my book that is definitely had, it's full of everything. There is nothing in this book that has not seen this down. So, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you just don't know. But you should always take heed to something that's warning. Um, if you see branches by a deer, if you see tracks inside of, if you're working, I just say you got cattle, okay? If you have cattle, um, a coyote and a wolf will eat most of the protein and stuff. Yeah, know you've got a other kind of problem, a woofy kind of problem, when you go in and all you got is maybe some ribs or something there, then you know you got a problem. Okay? You know you got a problem. That's all I'm gonna say. So, this all started with me because I was trying to find a Lupercalia for me and my mate. And no one here celebrates it, so I have to find some place to celebrate it. Because you take the old custom is you take your true love, you go into the forest, and the guys will have on their their wolf hides, and not a furry. Let's just get away from that now. Whole completely different game. Oh, nope, not that. And you would take a bottle of chocolate wine, and you mix cherry in it if they weren't old enough to drink. But usually you had to be at least 18 to 21. Um, Back then, I think they've switched it up to 21 to 25 now. But you would take your true love and see if it was actually your true love. And you would take a basket of fruit, or like cheese and meats and stuff, in a blanket, and you would find a different spot. Everybody, like, it'd be like 20 couples, and everybody would spread out in their own little space, and you would kind of hunt each other, you know. And then when you found your mate, you would hook up. You'd go back to your little campsite and, have your little cherry chocolate wine and your little desserts, and uh, it's a dark Valentine's Day versus all these candies and roses, and I'm not going to say anything because my significant other totally believes in the roses and the candy and the gifts and the jewelry. Yeah, I'd rather hunt in the woods. I'd rather hunt him in the woods. I have done that a couple times, so, but it's been pretty good. So he might be starting to see that side over Valentine's Day. Usually it's the 14th, I think, is the regular Valentine's Day for everyone's sweetheart day, whatever. And that's really weird because isn't that named after the Valentine massacre that happened there in Chicago or New York or somewhere around there? Gangsters, I don't know. But Lupercalia is not that. It is strictly a dark Valentine's Day. It is a Lover's Day of hooking up with your significant other. It's just you are in the woods and you have other couples around you, and there's no arguing, there's no fighting, there's no nothing. Everyone's just in laughter. You might hear a few sounds. If you're not old enough to have heard them before, then you should not be in the game. But if you have, and this is by no way one of those erotic orgy things, because it is your mate that you are hunting for. You run across somebody else's mate, you just, and if you're lucky, they might point you in the direction, and you will point them in the direction. You get what I'm saying? So it is definitely you and yours. Though if you do watch it, the only time I've ever seen anything come up on Lupercalia is I watched that series on Netflix with Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It is very close to that, except there's going to be no mom looking for you, I hope, in the woods, and no one's trying to mislead you to one guy to another, because this is definitely for the older. Um, they have really souped it up, but it is along the lines as well as Yule. It's really on the spot almost with Yule, except there's no mirror spirits coming in and all that. I mean, I think that's more on the witchy magical side of things. I don't know. This is a native side of Lupercalia. Okay. So, did we learn anything? I hope so. If you enjoyed this, please leave it in the comments. Let me know. Um, I'm Diane. Oh, and if you can't hear it, I promise that is a dog, a spoiled dog. Hold on. Do you think I'm supposed to just jump up and let you be? No, come here. Come on. Up. No. Come on. Come on. Is this in the way? I'll move it. Hold on. I have one sleep over here, and then I have this one. Oh, dear, yeah. 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 Would you get him if there was a big bad wolf? Would you get him? The only thing you can't do with this thing is, for some reason, when she was little, I used to torment her with this, and now I just still do it. But watch these magic words. Watch. Oh, yeah. So. Oh. Well, might as well end with some fun, right? And with the little one. There you go. This is the grandpappy. Ain't that right, old man? So, hi, I'm Diane. I hope you enjoyed the live. It's my first time ever. Um, I don't know if I got any views. I don't even know if this is recorded. I don't even know if we went through all this for nothing. But whatever the case may be, I enjoyed it. So, um, if you like it, let me know. If not, then I will continue to leave you fun shorts with the animals and things, and download from my TikTok. And please feel free to go over there and look for me. Here I'm Dyan, Dyan4 True Crime. But the link is the same, allegedly to guilty, over there. You can't miss me. I think I have red hair. I switch between red hair, long red hair, and then short blonde hair. This is new, the blonde hair. I cut it, and sometimes when I see pictures of me with the red hair and it longer, I feel like I did, I shouldn't have done that, but I did. So, what can I say? I did it. But I'm just sitting here talking like like we are. We're just sitting here on a Saturday night doing nothing but talking on our gothic crime. We don't have to be in a hurry. We need to breathe and do something. You're free to look up those 3 cases. Look up a lot of cases. I'm just saying, in the hollows, the brothers, the granddads, the men will usually find on a full moon. Will find um, a silver, the silver circle, or the house they have specially lined, whitewashed with silver in it. So silver must, in some effects, work to a degree, but it won't kill them. And beyond what anyone says, I think that's really kind of hard to burn them. But you can shoot them with a, they used a wolfbane silver lead in the bullets. So I never seen anybody make, I mean, I've seen people make silver and gold bullets for a price. And I could definitely make them. Sometimes I really wished I would have just kept making bullets. So I should, that was an old skill learned, passed down. I love it. I had all the stuff to even make my own and at least recase them, you know. So, because they're really expensive ammunition these days, but what can I say? So, again, we're going to tell you good night. Keep your windows shut and locked. Keep your doors to your garage shut and locked, all three of them. I even have a rod, so you ain't pulling my garage open. So that's what always amazes me in the Nancy Guthrie case. She's got a werewolf-proof front door, so why would she leave her back doors open? I already have my suspicious intent to where that case is should be gone, and I'm going to leave that alone. I'm just going to say the words apple and tomato, and I'm going to leave it there until I can get more evidence. So, till later, sleep well. Don't forget to find yourself some wolfsbane, which is very, very toxic. But crushing it up and kind of like putting it in bottles and burying it around your front door is not going to hurt you. Just make sure no animals can dig it up. That's the purpose of it. You don't want any animals to get a hold of it. And if you live in an area, you can get a plant and put it in a plant pot, but it's got to be in a sealed container so that kids and dogs and any animals cannot get a hold of it. A lot of people grow it, and I keep it on stock and just get it off of other, you know, tribe people. So my own tribe of people. So I don't know. Oh. So everybody have a good night. Stay safe. Please, please, even in any town, do not be parking in the dark. Look under your car, especially if you're from Florida, because you don't know what's underneath there. It could be gator, for all you know here. I mean, if it's wet and it's been raining and it's got a puddle, it's got a gator. I don't care what anybody tells you. It's like Jurassic Park up here. Okay, we got iguanas, we got monitor lizards now. I'm telling you, there's no shame here. We got a super kind of gator crocodile thing going on here in the. I mean, it's even bad for the boas right now, how they hibernate and they grow twice as fast, twice as tough as the skin, twice as big. There's somebody must have lost. They didn't come by no hurricane. Those we believe were imported in, and we don't know what happened. You know, did the owner die and somebody just put them out here in the Everglades? We don't know. But they started seeing that back in the 1990s. Look that up. It's interesting. Look at the Everglades. See what kind of creatures we got down here. We got all kinds of creatures. You don't know what kind of creatures you're looking at. I prefer the cute and cuddly. Yes. So, hi. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. And maybe you can come over on Tuesday nights for Crime Time Live over on my TikTok. I don't know. But subscribe and like. It's fun. You will be blessed. It will make me feel better. And you feel better. So, and it's free. All you got to do is hit the subscribe and like button. Okay? And then maybe I can start getting into some lives and start talking to you once a week. Um, I'll do little shorts and I will download mostly everything I can do on TikTok down that I can for you guys. Okay? And thank all the guys that did stick around. I don't even know how many subscribers I have. Um, but I want to thank those who are subscribers. I do want to let you know you're important to me. And if you are there, then 9 out of 10 times you have stayed with me through some very bad years. I've lost 2 children, my mom, 2 horses, my daughter's, my grandpuppy, 2 kittens. I meant 2 cats. One was 28 and one was 16. Um, so I'm trying to get back on the bandwagon. All right. Okay. Most of the thing, be kind to each other. And if you leave me a comment, please be kind. Okay. And be safe. Good night, everybody. Good night. I don't know. Did it stop? I don't know. Hold on. I don't know. How do you stop it? I don't even know how to start it. Now I don't know how to stop it. Hold on.